We do have an influx of criminals coming in from Mexico, living on the southern states. It's just a fact. The cartels are coming in. There's nothing being done. They have total immunity. They get in trouble. They just get kicked out and they come right back in. It's a mess, okay? And I get the concept of open borders. I get that. Except even Murray Rothbard said that you can't have open borders in a welfare state. This is a welfare state. This isn't back in the day where you have Ellis Island and people can just come in. Back then, if people didn't work, they died. Today, they can just live off of the government. Religion isn't a factor here. It doesn't matter that they are Muslim. They could be Christian or atheist. We still shouldn't let them in our country. It's suicide. Our government killed over 2 million people in over 8 countries in the last 15 years. Those 2 million souls left behind 10 to 15 million friends and family, loved ones. And many of them are going to want to point the finger at someone, okay? Look, revenge is a basic human instinct. Most of us may be able to suppress it, but we're not perfect. Some of us will give in to the feel to want to get back at the country that bombed their homes. Look, if I was out at work one day and I came home and I found my house was blown up by a bomb that another country dropped on it, my whole family's gone, everything I've ever saved up in life gone, there's a good chance I'm going to want to point the finger at someone, all right? And then next thing I know, that same country is inviting me into their country to stay as a refugee. It's outrageous. Even if a fraction of 1% of those 500,000 refugees that they want to let into our country end up coordinating some sort of mass attack, that could completely bring total chaos to this country. And we don't want to give our corrupt government, which is proven to be corrupt now, the opportunity to use that as ammo against us. As they say, never let a good opportunity go to waste. No, thank you. How about we stop that from ever happening? Look, there are over 198 other countries on the planet. Why would we want them to come to the one country that was most responsible for their misfortune? It makes absolute no sense. There's no proof that he ever sexually assaulted anybody. And why would he? Let's face it, he was a billionaire, he was attractive. He had a decent personality for the most part. I mean, he was witty, smart. Women like that. As far as him grabbing women's crotches, the media made it sound like he goes up to random people on the street and starts grabbing women's crotches. I'm sorry, he never did that. That's total nonsense. Let's be honest again, okay? He's referring to women who are throwing themselves at him, okay? Please don't tell me you've never grabbed someone's crotch before. If you're a girl, you grab the guy's crotch. If you're a guy, you grab the guy's crotch. You do it with consent. You don't just go start randomly grabbing people's crotches. Give me a break. This is what the media is putting it out to look like. And then, of course, the supporters, who apparently don't care about credibility whatsoever, just go regurgitating it. Look, just be honest with people. This is human nature. This is how people are, okay? It's not cool that he said it. It's very immature that he said it. But he said it in private with another guy. Guys like to brag like that. They like to exaggerate. They like to tell jokes. This is guy talk, okay? It happens everywhere. It's not just in locker rooms. As long as there's no women around, guys will talk like that. It doesn't always happen. It's not what we're always talking about, but occasionally it does happen, and it's unavoidable. Everyone's heard it before, okay? I'm sure most of us have never heard the exact phrase that he's said before, but he's being creative. That's probably why. Trump was right during the debate when he said that the banks want to intentionally collapse the economy, the Fed. He said that all they have to do is raise interest rates and this whole bubble is going to crash. Look, I know conspiracy theorists have been saying for decades that the economy is going to crash. I mean, a total crash worse than the Great Depression. We all know what they're talking about. But guess what? He's right. And it's going to be much worse than 2008. And it's going to be way worse than the Great Depression. And I'm not looking forward to it. I hope everyone has Bitcoin and gold. Because this time it's not just the housing market. You have hundreds of trillions of dollars in derivatives that are going to cause the whole world economy to collapse, and it's going to be unrepairable. It's going to be ugly, very ugly. I hope everyone has Bitcoin and gold. You have to preserve the value of your money, else you're just going to be very poor. And who's to blame at that point, especially after having heard this? And I say this not because I have a hunch, but because it's undeniable if you look at the charts. Look at the value of the dollar over the last 50 years. You'll see that there have been 3 bubbles. We're in the 3rd bubble now. You have the bubble during the Reagan years, then you have the bubble during the Clinton years, and you have this bubble. Anyone who understands charts can see the pattern here. It's kind of undeniable. Okay, so right now we're in the third bubble. And look where it's going to go once it crashes. It's going to go to new lows. And like they say, never let a good situation go to waste. Look at the stock market. It's highest it's ever been. If that's not a bubble, I don't know what is. And this is all after pumping trillions of dollars into the economy. We doubled the debt in the last 10 years. Hundreds of years worth of debt in just 10 years. We doubled it to $20 trillion. That's pumped into the economy. And look what good it did. All it does is hurts us in the end. It's crazy. And I say it's intentional because the media knows this is going to happen. If you look back at their news reports from last year, they said the dollar is the best buy of the year. And they show the chart here for everyone on the TV, but they only show the last 8, 10 years of the chart. They don't show you the chart going back 50, 60 years, else everyone would see the pattern. The central banking oligarch is intentionally collapsing the economy. It's as real as it gets. This is what's happening. They're holding the whole world hostage. The only way to really stop them is to let them know that we're onto them and we know what they're up to. And maybe provide a list of home addresses for all the people that run these banks. And that's all available online. We know where they all live. So they will be held accountable if the shit hits the fan.